There is a right way to negotiate and there is a wrong way to negotiate. And I'm going to try to empower you not only with the knowledge of the right way to negotiate, but also to try to help us understand, so when we actually go back onto the front lines, which is where you negotiate every day, you can actually put these strategies into practice within the context of a process that has an almost unlimited number of variables floating around at any given point in time.
I definitely feel more equipped to go into any negotiation.
Definitely learned a lot. Maybe actually rethink about a lot of the purchasing techniques that I use when I purchase materials or services.
Well, I actually came into this negotiation seminar with a negotiation ongoing, and as we were going through all the different steps, I realized how we were messing up in each and every one of them.
I've started using this today.
I think a lot of the things that we learned today that Marty talked about are definitely things that can be transferred to your personal life.
Those exercises we did were real.
Yeah.
I mean, when I lost one and I really kind of was disappointed in myself on how I handled it. And then there was a couple that I felt like I got a fair deal or the upper hand, and I thought that was good too, you know. But it really helped drive what you're learning home.
After today's seminar, I realized, you know, these negotiating tools and tips, these are something that I can use and that I can feel comfortable with going into meeting with clients.
Fact of the matter is, we have all been negotiating almost our entire lives. Whether you're a litigator looking to settle that case in an upcoming mediation, or a transactional lawyer trying to close that licensing deal, or you're in sales or purchasing, or a corporate executive trying to get that deal done. We tend to negotiate instinctively or intuitively. We tend to do it off the cuff. We tend to sort of wing it. Now that's the problem, because what do? We tend to not do it strategically based on the experts' proven research. Look, there's been a lot of great research in this particular area in the last 40 or so years. We now know there is a right way to negotiate and there is a wrong way to negotiate. And I'm going to try to empower you in my upcoming program on not only the knowledge of the right way to negotiate, but also how to put that knowledge into practice on the front lines, which is, of course, where you negotiate on a pretty consistent basis. What does that research point to? I call them the 5 golden rules of negotiation. First golden rule: information is power, so get it. What are your goals? What are your interests? What are your needs? What options may satisfy your interests? Or have you done your strategic homework sufficient to know that your counterpart has a reputation of walking out of negotiations, but 95% of the time always coming back to the table? Is that important information for you to know before you pick up the telephone, before you engage? Absolutely critical. Second golden rule of negotiation: maximize your leverage. How much do you need a deal? How much do they need a deal? The more desperate you are to close that deal, to get that settlement, the weaker your leverage. The more desperate they are, the stronger your leverage. What are you going to do if you don't do a deal with the other side? What's your plan B? If you're trying to close that deal with company A, you should have that company B sitting in your back pocket. If you're not going to settle that case in the mediation, you've got to be prepared to take that case all the way through trial. That empowers you with leverage to get a better deal in that mediation at that closing table. Third golden rule: employ fair objective criteria. What's fair or reasonable or unfair or unreasonable in any negotiation? How do you put that fair and reasonable hat on your head, especially if you care, or if your client cares, about a future relationship with the other side? Fair and reasonable in and of themselves are conclusions. You don't care what's fair, you care what is the underlying justification for that conclusion that is fair. What is the benchmark, the standard, the objective criteria that gives you that confidence in that particular element? Maybe that is a market provision and you've done your research so you know what's market and what's not. Maybe it's unprecedented to include that in this deal. Maybe you've got an expert who says this is the amount you should pay for that intellectual property. That's how you put your fair and reasonable hat on your head. Crucial to do your homework and to use that homework in your negotiations. Fourth golden rule: design an offer concession strategy. Should you make the first offer? Should you not make the first offer? If you do make the first offer, how aggressive should you be? Should you go back and forth in the negotiation process? absolutely critical tactical decisions, there's science on this particular area. You should know the science. You should know how to implement it in what we call the offer concession stage of the negotiation process. Fifth golden rule, control the agenda. Do you want to do the negotiation on the telephone? Do you want to do it by email? Do you want to get on a plane and actually meet in person? Do you want to talk about issues A, then B, then C? Maybe you want to negotiate over the agenda. How about deadlines? Do you want short deadlines, long deadlines, flexible deadlines, inflexible deadlines? You need to really prepare strategically based on the experts' proven research, then implement them within the context of your negotiations. Look, make no mistake. We can all learn how to more effectively negotiate. I like to say in my programs, experience does not equal expertise. Experience does not equal expertise. You could be negotiating for 30, 40 years. You could have been doing it instinctively, not based on the experts' proven research. I also like to say in my programs, I'm in the behavior modification business. I'm trying to change your behavior from instinctive or intuitive to strategic. That's what we're going to be doing in our upcoming training programs and seminars. I invite you to join me to continue in this lifelong journey of learning so that you become a more strategic negotiator. It will improve your clients' results, your company's results, and perhaps most importantly, your own negotiation results. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at one of my upcoming programs.